Hi, I'm Robert Shelide, Chief of Police for Shelby Township, and welcome to Straight Talk. Today our special guest is Captain Patrick Barnard. Captain, welcome to the program.
Chief, thanks.
Recently, I asked Shelby TV to do a ride-along with two of our younger officers, a little bit more aggressive, Officer Lauren Weiss and Officer Jeffrey Simon. And Shelby TV did a ride-along with both, and you're going to see some footage of both officers in action. And Captain, the reason I asked Shelby TV to do this is because I've seen things out of both officers that I really like, our administration likes. Lauren's made some outstanding arrests since she's been here. It seemed like one thing after another, and I think you had some experience with her father.
Yeah, Detective Weiss, he's been retired for a couple years now. I got to work with Ron for 4 years back in the Detective Bureau, and obviously through Ron, we got to know Lauren. She became a cadet at our place, and then she did so well as a cadet, she was hired as a police officer, and that's been actually probably 4 years now. And in that time, she's established herself. She goes out and she works hard, and because of that, you know, the people that are out there looking like she obviously is, we've had so many examples and arrests that she's made. She's carved out a very unique niche for herself in the short time that she's been here.
Yeah, I agree with you. What brought my attention to her when she was a cadet, she did two really good things as a cadet. First of all, she was on a ride-along with an officer, and there was a stolen car driving by, and she identified the stolen car.
Yeah, I remember that.
She told the officer, hey, I think that's a stolen car from a report from an hour ago. And he said, yeah, it is, and spun around and they caught him. Yeah. And then there was another where she worked the front desk and somebody came in to report a fraudulent use of credit card. Well, she did her own investigation at the front desk, called around and found out that the people were taking delivery at a store with their stolen credit card and had Canton police waiting for them and captured them. And really, like as a cadet, did some outstanding work. And then since she's been on the road, it's one thing after another.
Yes, she's obviously out there working hard, and she's finding a lot of significant things. And that's not always the case with newer officers. You know, they go out once they get off of their training program, and they go out and they're just getting used to the job, learning the job, and not so different from Lauren. But you know, for Lauren, she just has a knack about her where she's digging into things and she's finding things, and you know, and we benefit from that.
One of the most important positions we have at our police department is the officer who works at Eisenhower High School. It's extremely busy, and we're losing a man up there, Officer Noblesdorf, who ran that place like nobody's business. And what are your thoughts on Lauren?
You know, Lauren's going to be the new SRO for Eisenhower, and truthfully, it's bittersweet because we know the job is going to get done, and she's going to do we know that she's going to do a great job for the school and our department, but we're losing, you know, an officer off the road that is very valuable. So, you know, the trade-off is, you know, she's going to continue and develop in this new niche of being the school resource officer. I'm sure she'll go in there and make that position that much better. The relationship that we have with Utica Schools is a good one, and she representing our department is a win-win for us. But we're also losing, you know, an officer off the road that has shown that she can do this job and is doing a great job.
One of my favorite things about you and working with you is the way that you talk to our young officers. You know, you have a different style than I do, different style than Deputy Chief Schmittler. And when I see you talking to him, you almost talk to him like in a fatherly way, but a respectful manner. And I want to compliment you for that, because we have so many of these young officers around. Everywhere I turn around, there's these young kids, you know, and I just want to commend you for that, for doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Officer Weiss on her ride along right now. We'll be back in a few minutes.
So I'm Officer Lauren Weiss. I've been here for about 2.5 years. Prior to becoming an officer, I worked as a cadet. So I started that in 2020 while I was in college, and then they ended up sending me through to the police academy, and then started on the road right after that. It's cool. The community is awesome. They support us. It makes it feel worth it when you run into people within the township that always appreciate you and thank you for your service. And then also working with such great people makes it 10 times better. We have great bosses, good leadership, and I think that's important to having a successful police department is it all starts with the leaders, and I think we have some of the best. My dad used to be a detective at Shelby Township, so that's how I got connected. I've always been at the station at a young age. My dad let me, go to work with him and kind of meet everybody, see, what it was about, and that's where I decided that I wanted to be a police officer, and I've been loving it ever since. So we're headed to Lakeside Boulevard right now over at Lifetime Fitness for a parking complaint. We go here a lot for people that park in the handicap spots. So we're gonna go check that out, see if it's there, and then go from there. It doesn't have the placard on the plate, so I'll go ahead and check the vehicle, see if it's got anything inside. No plaque inside the vehicle or hanging from the mirror here, so I'm gonna go ahead and cite that person as well. Hello.
Yep. Hi.
All right.
I know I went fast.
Yeah, you were still catching up. I had you at 64, and who knows how fast you were going past then.
Yes. I know.
Okay.
So I'm a caretaker for my mom.
Okay.
I'm coming to get some food for her,
Okay.
and I'm in a hurry to get there. And I know
Okay.
I was going fast.
All right.
I know. So
All right. Do you have your license, registration, insurance?
Yep.
Okay.
I know I was.
Well, thank you
Wanted
for
to go to
being
Doritos,
honest.
getting pizza.
Yeah, I appreciate you being honest.
I know.
Any drinking tonight, sir?
Yeah, I have. Yes.
Okay. How much have you had to drink?
Not odd.
Okay.
Okay,
How
so-
much? So I can smell it coming off of you.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no.
How much have you had to drink?
I don't know how much. I've
Okay.
stopped.
Like beer, liquor. What did you have to drink?
Beer.
Okay. How many beers?
Several beers.
Several?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So my license.
Yeah, just worry about your license right now. How about that, okay? Okay. Okay. So do you have a valid driver's license?
Yeah.
Okay. This is an ID card. So what's going on with your driving status?
That's the one I have.
Okay. All right. Just stand by for me, okay? Don't worry about that other stuff right now, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I can smell alcohol coming off his breath. His eyes are pretty glossy. He did admit to drinking, said several beers. So at this point, I'm going to request a backup unit so that I can test him for possible OWI. 140 dispatch. I will take him back. I'll be testing the RO. Looks like he was arrested prior to for driving while intoxicated. So at this point, I'm going to wait for my backup to get here, pull him out of the car, and put him through some tests, make sure he's okay to drive, and go from there. I'm going to have you step out of the car, okay? I'm going to put you through some tests, make sure you're okay to drive, okay? All right, go ahead and step out. Keep your hands out of your pockets, okay? I'm just going to pat you down, make sure you got nothing on you, okay? Go ahead and face the car for me. Face the car. Nothing on you?
No, ma'am.
All righty. Spread your feet for me. Thank you. Okay. All right. Go ahead and face me here. Alrighty. Any head injuries, any medical conditions that I need to know about? No? Okay. Do you have diabetes?
I do.
You do have diabetes? Okay. Do you wear glasses or contacts? No? Okay. All right. So go ahead and put your feet together like this, arms down at your side, okay? You're going to remain in this position, okay, during the test. All right. So for this one, what you're going to do is you're going to follow the tip of my pen with your eyes and your eyes only, okay? Don't move your head. Does that make sense? Watch the
You
pen.
might watch that pen.
Yep, you're gonna follow the pen. Don't move your head, just your eyes, okay? All right, so for this test, what you're gonna do is you're gonna complete 9 heel-to-toe steps, okay? Once you've completed 9 heel-to-toe steps, you're gonna do a series of small steps back and do another 9 heel-to-toe steps, okay? I'm gonna demonstrate for you. I'm gonna do 3 for the test, okay? But again, you're gonna be doing 9, okay? So it's gonna look like this, right? 1, 2, 3. Taking that foot, series of small steps, okay? And another 9 heel-to-toe steps, okay? While you do it, you need to count your steps out loud. Keep your arms down at your side, okay? And don't stop until you've completed the test. Do you understand? Okay. All right. Do you understand the instructions, sir? Okay.
You said 9 heel toe.
Yep. And then you're going to do a series of small steps, do another 9 heel-to-toe steps back. Okay? You may begin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is for what reason?
These are field sobriety tests, okay? This is provided by the state of Michigan to determine whether or not you are under the influence.
Okay.
So these are the tests provided. That's what I'm putting you through.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if I could ask you to recite it from A to Z without singing it, would you be able to do that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, H, I, Q, K, L, M, P.
Okay. All right, Michigan law requires that you submit to a preliminary breath test upon request of a peace officer, okay? I'm a peace officer requesting that you take the PBT. If not, you'll be fined a civil infraction up to $180. Will you take a PBT?
I refuse.
Okay. Put your hands behind your back. Turn around.
Oh, no, wait,
Turn
you
around
said-
and put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for operating while intoxicated.
I misunderstood, man.
Okay.
I misunderstood. I'm not resistant.
Okay.
Okay. When you turn around when somebody's putting handcuffs on you,
Well,
that's
because
one
I
of
wanted to
those
ask the
things that
question.
doesn't
No,
turn
I,
out
under-
well for
I understand, but you need to listen.
Yes.
Okay.
I, I misunderstood what you were
Okay.
referring to.
Okay. Do you want to take a PBT or not?
Yes.
Okay. I will give you a PBT because you have been cooperative and you have been truthful with me. I will give you a PBT.
Okay.
Do you want to take one?
Sure. And,
Okay,
and if I pass, what happens?
You're okay. Do you want to take one or not?
If it
Okay.
passes,
Okay.
then what happens?
Then we will go from there.
Can I go
It's a
home?
yes or no
'Cause
question.
my mom's
there's-
waiting.
There's no caveats right now.
Uh,
It's a yes or no question, sir. We're at that point that
No,
it's
but
a,
if I pass, then what
sir,
happens?
it's a yes or no question. There are no
If I
caveats.
pass, what
We
happens?
don't answer that, okay? It's a yes or no question. That's what the state provides. We have to be specific about what we state when we ask you if you want to take this, okay?
Yeah.
So she was very specific because she has memorized exactly what the state requires
I
us
know
to
that.
say,
I know.
okay? So in turn, it's a yes or no question. Will you take this test? There is no yes, but this
But it
is
was,
it.
if you don't, then
It's
you get an
it's
infraction.
a yes or no question. Will you take the test? Do you want to
Says
take a
if you
PBT?
don't, then you get an infraction. That's what she said.
Yes,
told
you
you-
will get a
she
civil
explained
infraction
you
if you
what-
refuse to take a PBT. Yes, that's
Then
how
why
that
is
works.
this behind?
Because you have failed all of your tests. Therefore, I have enough to arrest you on operating while intoxicated. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you want to take a PBT or not?
Well, not now, because
Okay.
you already have
All right.
me.
Okay.
But I need.
All right,
no,
come on.
no,
No.
I need to get my lawyer on the
Okay.
phone.
That's
I need my
you
phone.
can talk to your
We'll
lawyer
take care of
after
it in
our
a second.
investigation's done. Okay? All right, you're going to face the wall to the left. Okay? Go ahead and spread your feet again for me. I'm going to search you, and then once I take the handcuffs off, just keep your arms down at your side, okay?
Hello.
Hi, sir. This is Officer Weiss, Shelby Township.
Hey there.
Hi. I have a search warrant for operating while intoxicated.
All right. Tell me some facts.
Okay. Around 30 hours this evening, I stopped a vehicle traveling 64 miles an hour in a 45. Approached the driver, could smell intoxicants on his person, bloodshot eyes, glossy eyes. When I asked if he had anything to drink, he admitted to having several beers, couldn't give me a number. Put him through field sobriety tests. He could not perform any of the tests properly, and that's what I have for you. He's got one prior for OWI in 2019.
Any PBT?
Refusal.
for family trouble possible.
Okay. Raise your right hand.
Okay,
Solemnly swear or affirm the statements in the affidavit are the truth.
I do.
All right. Email that from the station, or where are you at?
Yep, I'll email it from the station.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right, y'all set.
All right, bye. So basically, I had to adhere to the affidavit that I typed up, call him, give him the facts of the traffic stop, why I stopped him, his field sobriety test, what I could smell, what I could see. And then based off that, he will either sign off on it or he'll deny it. In this case, he's deciding to sign off on it. So now I'm going to email it over to him now. He'll sign it, and then we'll be able to get the fire department here to take this gentleman's blood for OWI.
You've just seen Officer Lauren Weiss in action, and our 3,000 students at Eisenhower High School are going to be seeing a lot of her in the fall, as she'll be the new SRO every day. So Captain Barnard, the next person that Shelby TV wrote along with is Jeffrey Simon. He's a Marine who came to our department and has got some special skills and some special training. You want to talk about that?
Well, Officer Simon just became a DRE, a drug recognition expert, and that's a classification that not many officers have in the state of Michigan, let alone he's our first DRE that we've ever had with Shelby Township. So with that, he is a huge resource. He obviously has this as something close to his heart, going out and looking for intoxicated drivers. And not only for our department, he's also, even last week, was a resource for an area department that called and asked for his expertise on a stop that they were dealing with. So, Officer Simon, he's been here for, I think it's been 3 years now. This was something that he was interested in. And not only, it's one thing when you have an officer interested in something, you have to have the officer also showing that they have a work ethic towards whatever they're interested in. And with time, you usually see that. And Officer Simon is a great example of that. He went out and he has made countless OWI arrests. We recognized him this year as leading the department in OWI arrests. He's been recognized by the state of Michigan through Mad Mothers Against Drunk Driving with an award for that. And this is something that you can tell he's very, very interested in. And because of that, we were able to train him up, and now he has that certification, and that's going to benefit our department.
Well said. I recently read where they said that if you came from one of two organizations in the world, that when the people that came from the organizations meet somebody within 30 seconds, they let them know. First one was Harvard University, and the second one was the United States Marine Corps. And Jeffrey has a presence about him. When he came to our department, I noticed it right away. He's confident, and he's not listening to any garbage going on by anybody. The kid puts his nose at the grindstone and goes out and works. What I've noticed, I give you several assignments regularly, and I see who you go to a ton of the times is Jeffrey, where you go to him and some of the other guys and give them the assignments. It's going to get done, right? And it's going to get done correctly.
Right. There's always something that's coming on details, and anything that is related to drunk driving enforcement, anything having to do with that, Officer Simon is keyed into it. And not only that, when you identify somebody that has a passion for any point or piece of police work, their name just naturally comes to mind. When you're looking for a role to be filled that is very specific. In his case, anything that has to do with OWI enforcement, he is all about.
Yeah, we put him in the traffic unit and kind of like took his leash off and go do your thing, and he's doing a great job for us.
Yeah, and because of that, and just a side point, because of how he does his job and how he influences our numbers with drunk driving arrests, that was actually a vehicle and a tool, along with, we have a number of officers that go out and do that and add to our numbers for these arrests. Well, that's important, like what we've seen with getting a data master for our department, through Michigan State Police. They look at the numbers of the departments that have larger numbers of arrests, and for Officer Simon to be a drug recognition expert, that also lends credibility that we're going to use that machine very frequently. And because of that, we're getting one.
Yeah, let me inform our residents what Captain Barnard specifically is talking about. Our data master is our machine that we use to test drunks when they come in. It's a breath machine. And when we remodeled the station a few years ago, the state took it away from us. And they basically told us, you're on a long list to get one and it might be a few years. Well, Captain Barnard ended up talking with someone from the state. They had a long conversation. He was able to tell them what our numbers were, our OWI arrests we're making each year. And the guy was like surprised. He goes, "You're really making that many arrests? Send me the proof." We sent him the proof. Next thing you know, he approved we're getting the machine back in August, and It's a big deal, so well done on that.
Oh,
Thank you. Let's take a look at Officer Simon in action. I think you're going to enjoy this segment.
I'm Officer Simon. I've been with Shelby Township now for a little over 2 years. Prior to that, I was in the Marine Corps. So I grew up in the area. I grew up in Rochester. I was in and out of Shelby Township my whole life. I know the area pretty well. And then just getting out of the military, so going from serving, in one aspect to another. And then my older brother's been in law enforcement for a little over 20 years now. Just something I've always wanted to do. I enjoy the camaraderie here at the department. It seems like, some other departments are a little bit, low on morale, but not here at Shelby. Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Can I get your license, registration, and insurance, please? Okay. Any idea why I pulled you over?
I think I know because I took the right lane.
For a very long time.
Yeah, so I'm going to an appointment. I'm at work right now, and usually I take the other road that goes in through the middle of the neighborhood, but I saw it was busy, so I just kept going.
Well, you realize you didn't make it much further than me because I ended up right behind you.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
I usually don't do that at all, but just because I was in a little bit of a rush, I have my appointment, get you my insurance. I'm so sorry. I swear
right.
I never do that.
Sorry, people make mistakes. You drove in that lane for a very long time. Somebody decided to turn right, they would have turned right in front of you and you would have caused a crash.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
Because it's improper lane use.
Okay.
Each one of those white lines that go like that, you cross probably 5 of those.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Got you. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Can I get your insurance as well? Okay, here's your license and stuff back. Okay, so I am citing you today for improper lane use, okay? Just because of how much traffic we got going on out there, and you passed like 4 different driveways. If somebody decided to turn in, you would have for sure caused an accident, okay? You do have a decently long driving record. However, if you wish, you can set up a court date and ask for leniency. Our judge is pretty good about that stuff, okay? So you've been respectful with me. I have no problem with that if you do choose to go that route, okay? All right, drive safe tonight. Make sure you get where you're going safe, okay?
Parkhead and Central Paris Park.
Speed?
No, he's just next to me texting. One of those days.
In his defense.
He goes, "I'm not texting." He goes, "I was watching YouTube."
That is so much worse.
I'll give you a warning, man. No YouTube, no texting. You can't look and hold. You can't hold and read and look at your phone while driving. You understand? Okay, so have a good day.
He originally got pulled over for texting, but then admitted that he was just watching videos on his phone.
That's correct, yep. Yep, which is actually much worse than texting. But if you're distracted by a video that you're watching, I'd be curious to see how often you're actually checking the road. So, a lot of people, their upbringing will, determine how they look at police and all that kind of stuff. And, they think that if they give us white lies or lie to us, that we have absolutely no idea. When in reality, we know probably 90% of the time when somebody's actually lying. So whether or not, we can or choose to do something about it, is entirely different, but most of the time when you lie to us, we know.
That was Officer Jeffrey Simon in action, and I hope you enjoyed that segment. Captain Barnard, recently there's a new law in Lansing that we had to pay attention to, the distracted driving, hands-free. You want to discuss it?
Well, the new law took effect June 30th of this year, and it's we've always had, going back to 2010, a distracted driving ordinance This is completely different, and the long and short of it is you cannot be on your cell phone, a tablet, you cannot have your hands on, you can't send messages, no social media posts, no calls with the phone in your hand, no receiving calls with the phone in your hand. It is a dramatic difference from what we had up to this point, and there's reasons for that. I mean, these laws come about after doing studies on distracted drivings and the fatalities and crashes that are associated with them. There's other states that already have our law that we're practicing now in place, and the long and short of it is it shows a reduction in traffic accidents and deaths, and that's why we have what we're having now.
I mean, everybody, you look around, everybody's got a phone in their hand. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So let's help educate our citizens on a few things. First of all, can they watch YouTube on their phone while they're driving?
No.
Okay.
They cannot do anything that distracts their attention away from the road. And there's three types of distractions. There's visual, there's manual, and there's cognitive. You know, the visual is obviously taking your eyes off the road. Manual is taking your hands off the wheel, and then the cognitive is just you're not concentrating on driving. Your mind's adrifting, and that's why texting, is such a bad thing because it involves all three of those.
Can they eat an apple while they're driving?
If it doesn't distract them.
Okay. All right. What about at a red light? Is there a red light? Can they pick their phone up and start texting at a red light?
No, the law is very clear on that because, when a new law comes into effect, everybody has questions to clarify. And that was one of them. Can you be on your phone at a red light? The answer is no, you can't. The only time that you can vary from this is if you are legally parked somewhere and then you're on your phone. But if you're out and about, if you're at a red light and you are on your phone, receiving a text, talking on the phone, placing a call, you're in violation of the new law.
I want to tell the traffic guys to have strict enforcement on this. We're not going to sit back. They passed the law for a reason. The state police has data. I remember listening to a state police traffic lieutenant speak back a while ago, and he said that their estimation right now going through crash reports, and not even estimation, I think through the data, that 70% of all crashes are because people have their phones in their hands. And we've had multiple fatal accidents in our town through the years and serious crashes, and we're not going to sit back. We're going to enforce this law.
Again, all this is bolstered off of studies that clearly show that since phones have made their way into cars, distracted driving has gone through the roof, and because of that, there are more fatalities. Of the fatalities of that were recorded in 2022, which I believe was just over 1,100. I think it was 1,160. 25% of those were connected to distracted driving. Yeah. And that's significant, and especially when you look at the young age group from 15 to 19, they only account for a little over 6% of the drivers on the road, but they account for 18% of the accidents involving distracted driving.
Our roads in Shelby Township, and I would argue most of the roads in Macomb County, weren't built for the amount of people that we have out here on these roads. The infrastructure is not in place. And frankly, it's scary. Me personally, when I'm driving down 24-mile road, it's so narrow. I wouldn't dare touch my phone when I'm riding on a lot of these streets. Do you feel the same way?
I do, and again, that's why the wording of this law is, puts such constraints on it. And you don't need to be a police officer. If you're driving around in traffic, you can look around to the cars on the side of you. You can see people, whether it's at a stop sign where everybody's on their phone, or actually driving, you see people on their phone. It's a large problem, and again, other states that have already enacted what we're doing now have seen this effect and reduce the number of fatalities and accidents, and that's what we need to have happen here.
We will be enforcing this new law, and please stay off your phones for your own safety. Now for some very sad news. When I first became chief, we restarted our canine program. And the first canine we had was Officer Morpheus. He was a beautiful, beautiful black dog, very aggressive, and did an incredible job for us for several years. His handler was Sergeant Joseph Wojcik, and unfortunately, recently, Morpheus passed away of cancer. It was a major blow to our department. Morpheus has won several awards. Like I said, he's an extremely aggressive dog, and he was loved by all in our community, and tragically, he passed away. Just want to inform our community on that. You've been watching Straight Talk. We'll see you next month.
Atta boys, buddies. Oh boy.